Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again, early this March 1st. March 1st, I'd like to dedicate this particular day, March 1st, to one of my close friends who've expired by the name of Johnny Bernard Simpson. March 1st, his birthday is today, and my birthday is tomorrow. And today would have been his 73rd birthday. And tomorrow will be my 73rd birthday. But he's been gone for at least 15 to 16 years now. And I miss him so. But I'm sure thinking in my head that he's glad he's not been here to go through the hell we've been going through for the past few years. But my whole point, ladies and gentlemen, for us today is taking care of the problems of life. We have to take care of the problems of life. They cannot continue to exist. And we cannot continue to put bandages on them. We are different people for a different time, and we're going to have to act like it because I'm calling you to the front. We got to stop acting like fools. And yes, we are acting like fools, but we need to change that. We must change that, and we, the people, must be satisfied. We must guarantee our living to bring satisfaction to one another. We must guarantee our living to bring satisfaction to one another. Two of the major subjects that's on the minds of people today in our country. One has to do with education. It has to do with the forgiveness of that educational debt that so many people have, that they've tried to prepare themselves so they can come out in the American society and give their best to be a part of what America is progressively about. And now, and it's nothing new. It's just that somebody seemingly wanted to give it some thought and show some compassion and show some empathy and show some love and say maybe we can forgive some of this debt for those people who are having such a hard time. And we know that they are. And yet there are those out there who say, oh no, 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 no. No, let them struggle. Whatever changes they got to go through. I'm just saying what ultimately it means. Whatever changes they gotta go through, let them go through it. Even if they can't pay it, then maybe you can do something, do it. But if not, then let them suffer. That's what some people are saying. Why do they say that? They do that because they do not know any better. They didn't have the kind of upbringing that many of you had. But that's just part of it. There's something called SNAP having to do with food allowances or uh, aid in additional purchases of that stuff that you need to survive good old food, healthy food. And they say the program is terminating. Ain't that something? It was needed. But now it's not needed, and if it is needed, we're going to terminate it because this part of a it's part of a plan, an operation. It doesn't has nothing to do with making sure that people eat and have access to food all the time. This was just going through a period of time. Ain't that something? See, the thing that really makes me upset is that I know that education is part of an authentic plan of heaven. So is food. And everyone needs it. And who would dare stop what has been designed by the creator of human beings to need something, and something or one comes up and say, no way, Jose. My. Well, when you have people who are constantly willing to say no, when you have people who are willing to say, I don't care what kind of pain and suffering it might cause, it benefits me quite well. I don't feel that. And I'm satisfied with the way things are. Well, there are people who just say, we got to do something about it. And they don't know exactly what to do, but they keep trying to protest here, protest there. And the fight comes back so vicious. And when it comes back vicious from people who are really incensed on doing violence, they're trying to create situations of racism and hatred and bigotry. We were taught that these kinds of things were evil. We were taught that these were the kinds of things that the devil allowed to happen. And it amazes me that if we were taught this, why in the world is there a certain group of people? Who's a certain group of people in America? They call them white supremacists. They call it people, MAGA, people who want to make sure that America is ruled by white people and white people are subject to nothing and they can do whatever they want to do to anyone. That's what it's all about. That's why we have the hell in America. But that is the same reason we have the hell all over the globe. Somebody want to be big boss over somebody else. Over somebody else. You were made by God. You were made by God. Liberty to say, have choice. Liberty is to say yes or no. Somebody said jump off the bridge, you can say yes or no. If somebody tell you bend down and become a servant to them, then you can say no. Even if it costs you your life, you can say no. What does that mean? That means that you are not a part of evil. That means evil will not take a part of you. And before you yield to any evil taking part of you and controlling your life, you will die and go to hell if you must. But you don't think you're going to hell. You know you're going to heaven because you're doing a good thing. But see, that's when you know the truth. You know the truth. You don't have to. We don't have to go along with any of this stuff. But we were taught, like I said, look at the people who hate. Look at the people who are willing to go and get a gun and go and shoot somebody down for nothing. These people weren't born like this. This is the society that we live in. This is what happens all around us. This is some of us turning our backs to it. Some of us poking our mouths out but not doing anything. And as we do this, these are the things that's being festering. These are the things that's going through gestation. These are the things that's birthing into this society to destroy it. Because we fell it. We're being led by ungodly stuff. But I'm here to remind you, I know people say, I don't want to believe in God. I don't blame you. I don't blame you. I tell you what, if I didn't know for a fact that God was real, I wouldn't be going along with it either. And when you say you don't go along with it, I'm not upset with you. I'm not mad with you for not going along with it. Because people don't, if you watch what people act like they have no idea what God is. God is giving somebody a piece of bread. Of course it is. But God is bigger than giving somebody a piece of bread. God makes sure that nobody have to need bread because it's been prepared that everybody will have bread. A person who's close with God would know that. And a person who's close with God would not knock you giving somebody a piece of bread. But they wouldn't stop there. If anybody needs some bread, gonna make sure that that need is going to be satisfied. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference. That's why I'm here talking to you today. But the Republicans and conservatives and not all white people now. You know, when you say white, you know white people all benefit from it. And I guess if you don't stand up against it, I ain't talking about just talking. If you don't just stand up against it like those three boys down in different races down in Philadelphia, Mississippi back in the 60s, or that white woman from Detroit, these people put their lives on the line. They just as good as anybody on the face of the earth. And we walk around here thinking we something. Walking around here in the middle of all this slop. Walking around here in the middle of this cesspool. Think we got going on. Because nobody really gave us an understanding of what Dr. King's life, Malcolm X's life, Gandhi's life meant, or even the story of Jesus Christ's life mean. And we just walk around here dazed, drunk, like we on crack. Anyway, and when I say that, I'm talking about all people. I'm talking about all people. I'm not just talking about Americans. I'm talking to all people on the face of the earth. Well, evil comes to destroy. It comes to wipe us out. You see all of the lies and stuff that we got introduced to on top of the murder of George Floyd. We got introduced to all these lies by somebody who want to make America great, MAGA, who want to turn America white. All kinds of lies. And we see how they were infested. And we see how millions of people bought onto these lies, ladies and gentlemen. Millions of people. When you turn that camera on January 6th and raise it up and look down, there were a lot of people out there. And they weren't there just to be there. They were there to make a statement. that they're pissed off with the system. They're pissed off at the way things are going. And apparently right now, because of the way the laws have been written and enough people still hanging on, it's there enough to keep it balanced where we didn't sink, even didn't choke us to the death. Always still working on it, but it didn't choke us to the death. And if we think for one moment that all we got to do is sit back down in the chair and be comfortable because we were a little bit better than the Republicans have been, then you got a rude awakening coming. And ladies and gentlemen, it's our trick anyway. It's something when you've heard me say about the good cop, bad cop. Well, what Republicans are doing right now are representing the bad cop. Democrats are representing the good cop. They don't want to. They're not that bad just yet. They might be on the same path, but they're not that bad. So it gives you something to kind of put your trust in, put your faith in. Hold on to this, what you know. And when somebody comes along like myself and tell you, let's go bigger than this, we just can't sit here because sitting here is the thing that created all these monsters out here. So we got to start running on up the hill. We got to become more righteous than we've ever been. We got to be more like God than we've ever been. We got to care more about people and all of the people, what we've never done before. Now that's the road we got to take. And now you say, whoa, I don't know that road. So you're afraid to take that road, especially when everybody's trying to hold you on the path of the status quo because that's what you know. And you say, well, I'm familiar with this a little bit. I can maybe maneuver and save over here. That's because you don't care about other people. You're thinking about yourself right there. I can make this move. Yeah, but what about the other people? Well, I got no. See, if you cared about the other people, you wouldn't be talking about you can make this move. You're talking about how can we make this move? How can we protect one another? And I guarantee you, brother, you'll find out you got more ability with we than just you. I think I'll leave it there until next time. Eddie Marcus once again saying it is the time that we wake up. It is time we become free and throw off these chains. Goodbye.